Are scientists unbiased? Well, we've already seen that in regard to the subject of man-made global warming, that the scientists at East Anglia University were willing to change the data in order to make it look like man-made global warming was still reality. But there's another problem as well. That is, all scientists, teachers, and professors have a conflict of interest, especially in the public arena. Well, how's that? Well, no one is allowed to disagree with the prescribed ideas. So what happens if you do? Well, number one, there's loss of influence. If you're a scientist and you're being published, let's say, in scientific journals, if you begin to disagree with the theory of evolution, even if you're a staunch evolutionist, you will cease being published in those magazines. Number two is there's a loss of position. And number three, of course, along with that is the loss of job, with your resume having a permanent mark on it. Now, for more evidence on this, you can look at the documentaries, Icons of Evolution, and also the full-length documentary by Ben Stein called Expelled. So in America, there is the academic equivalent to the Gulag. And now, for those that are not aware of it, the Gulag was where, in the Soviet Union, they would stick the political dissidents, in other words, the people that didn't agree with the communist regime, that'd be stuck up in the Siberian icelands where they would probably never be heard from again. So, all teachers, scientists, and professors must have a conflict of interest. That is, they're not able to say anything against evolution if they desire to keep their position, influence, or job. So how do we see this work out in the laboratory or classroom? Well, any scientific evidence that even hints at being in conflict with a theory of evolution can never be discussed. Students are never able to see all of the evidence that contradicts the theory. And incidentally, I've talked to some of the students that go to the local university, and they are not allowed to even throw any hint of any scientific evidence that would contradict the theory of evolution. So as a result, only one side of the debate is ever heard. Students are never allowed to hear the other side of the argument. So what do we see in the classroom and the laboratory? Well, the ages, that is the age tests from radiometric dating methods, are discarded. In other words, if they don't agree with the prescribed evolutionary dates, then they are not even included in the data. The scientific assumptions are changed if pre-agreed upon assumptions do not line up with evolution. Because evolution is the only thing that is allowed in the books and scientific journals, then everything regarding the subject is much more susceptible to frauds, fixed, that is, predetermined results, and junk science. Of course, we're seeing that all the time now in regards to the theory of evolution. The theory of evolution becomes a heads I win and tails you lose scenario. The examples I've already given some on the order of fossils. If the fossils are out of order, then it still does not disprove the theory of evolution according to evolutionists. The fact that life cannot come from inorganic material is basically ignored. The second law is ignored, etc. So it's a heads I win, tails you lose situation for evolutionists. So nothing can be found, or not found, that will disprove the theory of evolution. And that's the situation we find ourselves now in the public arena, especially universities, schools, the scientific arena. We see that nothing can disagree with evolution, or the consequences can be dire in those cases. Thank you for watching this video, and look forward to seeing you on the next one.